Yes.
Council Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes,
Council President Wall.
Yes.
thank you. At this time, there's no committee business matters carried over, and so we are going to head straight into public comment. We are going to take public comment in chambers only. This is for the Public Works Committee, docketed matters only. Please state your name and address, and you have 4 minutes. Anyone in chambers like to approach the podium? Okay, seeing none, could I please have online checked if anyone on Zoom would like to speak?
There is no online public comment.
So I'm going to go ahead and close public comment for the evening on docketed matters. So ahead of the committee, we have new matters. We have a petition for Narragansett Electric and Verizon New England for the installation of stub pole, which is on Plainfield Pike in Comstock Parkway. We received a letter dated January 23rd, 2026 from Director Correo, and he reviewed both poles, which are P51 through 50 and P51 through 51. They are along the Plainfield Pike intersection along Comstock Parkway, and he recommends approval. So I'm going to urge that the committee issue an approval.
Motion to approve.
So
Second.
moved. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can I get the roll, please?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilwoman Baziri,
Yes.
Councilman Capitano,
Yes.
Council Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Council President Wall.
Yes.
Okay, so next is council communications, but the agenda was amended and I have an old agenda. Yeah. So I don't know if I can talk about it. The Cranston Ice Rink was posted.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Or it was on the agenda.
Yeah, it was posted.
No, that's okay. But we're next to talk about council communications, and it's the Cranston Ice Rink update. So if members recall, at our last Public Works Committee, there was a discussion regarding the Cranston Ice Rink. President Wall and myself had some concerns. We had visited the ice rink, and we believed it needed some cleaning and updating with regards to materials being stored outside of appropriate areas. And we wanted to work with the administration to correct some of these issues. I did, myself and Councilman Ritz did meet with the administration. We voiced our concerns, and I think the administration took those seriously. They understood what we were saying. And I just wanted to keep this on the agenda for an update. So Ms. Renzulli is here this evening, and she is going to give an update on the results from our meeting, and hopefully it's positive.
Okay, thank you. I think the meeting went really well. Changes were made as soon as the next day. We have been popping in there, as well as, I believe, President Wall has been stopping in, as well as other members. And we've been speaking to the community as well. So I'll just go through the list that you have on the agenda quickly, because I don't know how much detail you want here, but I can send you a memo if you need more detail. So
Yeah.
for game day preparation, Friday games, after their morning skate sessions, assigned locker rooms are cleaned between 1:30 and 2. Then they're locked for the rest of the day leading up to the game. Saturday games, youth hockey is scheduled all day. Assigned locker rooms are closed 2 hours before a scheduled game, cleaned and locked. The ladies' locker room, it's been a designated locker room, has been cleaned of all items that were not needed in the area, including the things that you had seen in the past. I can't say why they were there in the first place, but they're gone now. Benches, lockers, and a table remain for the ladies that may use the room to change for practices or games. The rink, they just want to note the rink does not have a specified girls-only locker room because the rink itself only has 4 total locker rooms. And this was explained at the meeting by the director. As far as parking, the handicap parking, Dave Bucci, who directs the ice rink, he met with Public Works at the rink, and a new handicap signage will be made and affixed to the front of the facility. The front door of the facility will remain unlocked during all events to accommodate anyone who's in need of using that entrance that has a handicap. Next is staffing. New staff jackets were ordered and came in yesterday for all employees to be identifiable during events. The sound system is up and running, and the rink has purchased the wiring needed for the system to operate during games. This was a direct request from parents. 4 staff are assigned at games, 1 at the entrance, 2 floaters watching what's going on during the event, and 1 maintenance staff person for general issues and ice preparation. Then I just have a little FYI. There is, some discussion that maybe we'll have outside of here regarding police detail. I guess there was an incident between parents of different teams, but it's something that we should probably talk about, because if we continue to manage the ice rink in the future and the ice rink itself is responsible for paying the detail, the teams are not paying for detail, and they're the ones that really need it. So, the schools, we value the schools. Obviously, they get the ice time for free during the season. We don't charge them for rental, for anything. And, if we have to pay detail all the time because of incidents happening during high school hockey games, then we might need to finance that in a different way. That's all. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you. Anyone on? Councilman Andujar?
So as far as the detail, is that the high school or private teams?
No, it was East Greenwich High School and West, but it was involving a parent. I won't get into it.
So we'll charge West.
We'll charge East Greenwich.
Currently, we charge no one. Currently, we charge no one. We pay for it. So, maybe the schools or the interscholastic league or someone else, we can talk about how we could do it going forward, but there's
Yeah.
usually not problems during youth games.
Yeah, it was not a Cranston parent.
No, but if we're gonna charge detail, and we have a lot of time since the next meeting is not coming up for a while, they have a line item where they could pay the detail, correct?
The high
The
school?
school department.
I don't know that they've budgeted for that, but we can.
I give you that one. I give you a firm no through the chair. No, they do not have a line item in that matter.
But we could add one, right?
Budget season's coming up, my friend.
Councilwoman Vaziri, you had a,
I was just wondering, because I went in there and they said that. Oh, sorry. How often does it get cleaned? Do we know that
That gets cleaned, it gets cleaned daily.
daily?
Yes, but if you go there, now I know that, someone went, if they're cleaning it in the afternoon, before a game, and you go before they clean, obviously it's gonna look different than if you, because I've gone at 2:30 and it was clean, and I know the councilwoman had went maybe at 1:30 and it was not. They cleaned in between those times, so that's why they had mentioned the times on here. You're welcome.
President Wall?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did, and listen, let me first start by saying I do appreciate, and you're here on behalf, Ms. Renzulli, on behalf of the administration. I do appreciate the administration, the attention they've given to this order, this issue. I was unable to meet when Councilman Ritz and Councilwoman Graziano met. The mayor was good enough to meet with me the next day. We discussed a number of items that I think many of them are addressed on that sheet. I did go yesterday, and I did speak to Mr. Bucci, and we had a nice conversation. He gave me a full tour, and I can tell you that many, listen, it's an old place, just like it was when we began discussing it. But it's a place, and I can tell you this from the parents, the hockey parents, and I did not play hockey, but from the hockey parents I know, they love that place. Much like your Red Sox fan, I know my colleagues on the council would say they love Fenway Park. It's old, but that doesn't mean we can't clean it and keep it nice and keep it as best we can. Not that I'm comparing it to Fenway Park. So I appreciate the efforts. It was much cleaner. They do have the sound system you referred to, which is really nice. They can announce the kids. The kids are pretty happy about that. They can put the national anthem on like every place else, and it was measurably cleaner. And the discussion I had going forward about how maintaining it's important. And, you know, yeah, I understand the situation also. If you have people there, I teach all day. Trust me when I tell you, when I get to the school, it's pretty clean when I get there. The kids get there, it does get a little dirtier by the end of the day, and you have to keep cleaning it. So keeping up on that schedule keeps this issue away, you know, so I get it. So I appreciate the attention the administration has given. I thought it looked very good. I didn't bring any snapshots, which is usually what I do. I didn't think it was necessary, so it passed my bill of health, so to speak. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, there's someone ahead of you. Councilman Ritz.
I just wanted to mention, my two Republican counterparts and I don't share the same love for Fenway Park as others, but, it's a treat to have a ice skating rink in Cranston. So I think it's an older rink, but it's still a gem to have that there. I think it just needed a little polish. So I appreciate the administration jumping on this and doing what they could to clean it up a little bit. You might have mentioned this. Is there a schedule for cleaning the bathrooms? I know that was an issue, was like a rotating kind of maintenance schedule for that.
They
Not-
do have a schedule for all their cleaning. They don't share it specifically. We don't micromanage down to that level, but if you want me to get the schedule that they clean the bathrooms, I'm more than happy to try and obtain that. But I know they clean them all day.
Perfect. Yeah, I didn't know. I know it quickly came up in that meeting. It's like every hour,
Yeah.
a couple hours, someone checks off when there's a game. or
Mhm,
something
they
like
check
that.
off
I know
like
that was
on a
good.
list. Mhm.
Perfect, thank you. And the other question was just in that meeting, we had talked a little bit about putting more onus on the travel teams when they come in to use it, that as part of the agreement, they have to clean up the locker room before they leave. I don't know if we were able to put that in.
That would have to be part of like a contractual agreement at the beginning of the season. So I know that as it transitions to be more under Parks and Rec, like, as you know, it's an enterprise fund and we've been kind of operating separately. Now they are under more, Mr. Piscopello has more of a top level. He does that with the contracts that he has for baseball fields, basketball courts, all of that. So it will be considered next time they have to do contracts.
Perfect, thank you again.
Councilman Bonanno.
I just want to go on record so there's no misunderstanding or ambiguity. I love Fenway Park. I'm a Yankees fan, but I love Fenway Park. So I just wanted to get that out there. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you added that.
That was important.
Yes, I would like to give a big thanks to the administration. I appreciate them working with the council on this matter. I think it was something that was very near and dear to the hearts of the schools that use it. Like President Wall said, I echo what he said. I mean, they do love this place and they know it needs work structurally. That's not their concern. Their main concern is that it's a place that they can appreciate when they walk into it. I mean, a lot of those parents grew up going to that rink. And so I think they just want to see it clean, and I appreciate you guys taking that seriously. So, I'm happy with it right now. I know that the parents and coaches reached out to me. Again, they were happy about the sound system. So continuing, like, I know that one's still old and I guess they had to order new parts. So maybe looking into getting a new one for next year if they can afford that in their budget, working on their budget, or, the staff can voice what they need to the administration. Everybody can work on expenditures through that budget. But that is it for me. So thank you.
I will say this, if you have any more to bring forward, we can't fix it if we don't know about it. And a lot of times, in my experience, parents don't come directly to the administration. They go to someone they know or through someone. If you hear about it and you bring it forward, I will do my best to personally get it addressed, but I can't do it if I don't know. So, all right. Thank you so much.
Anyone else on council have anything to enter into the record for the Cranston's rink? No, you guys look excited. Okay, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion
Would you
to
like
adjourn.
this to be continued or removed?
What is it? Okay. Continue right now. Don't continue it. And then we're going to get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Wait, may I ask a question? Sorry. Excuse me, Madam Chair. On the agenda I have in front of me,
It's wrong.
so that was removed.
Yep.
Thank you.
Still need a second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Seeing none, we're adjourned.
order. Today is Wednesday, February 4th at 6:30 PM. Clerk, can you please take a roll?
Council Vice President Haroyan, Councilwoman Vaziri,
Present.
Councilman Campiano,
Present.
Council Banano,
Here.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Present.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Council President Wall.
Here.
May I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the January 7th, 2026 regular meeting?
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Vaziri,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council President Wall.
Yes.
Seeing that there are no committee businesses matters carried over, we are now moving into public comment. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to comment on docketed items only? Please step up to the podium, state your name, address, and you have 2 minutes.
Hello,
Better.
my name is Kevin Essington. I live at 60 Chiswick Road. I'm here to speak in favor of the ordinance before you today, introduced by Councilor Graziano to designate Chiswick Road as local traffic only. Chiswick Road is a 500-foot-long residential street. Unfortunately, it lies at the shortest point between Edgewood's busiest boulevards, Broad Street and Narragansett Boulevard. The street is relatively narrow for Cranston, just 25 feet wide. The east side of Chiswick Road is a steep hill with very short sight lines at the top of the hill. The Broad Street intersection is dangerous with a pronounced northbound blind spot created by a private retaining wall and plantings. Councilor Graziano saw herself how this creates hazardous driving conditions for pedestrians and other drivers. Because of the geometry of Edgewood streets, navigation apps like Google Maps, Waze, and Apple Maps send drivers traveling to and from places like Warwick and the Allens Avenue connection to I-95 through Chiswick Road. This route saves 180 seconds of travel time, but it creates very high and dangerous levels of traffic volume on this residential street. The city of Cranston has conducted 3 traffic volume and speed studies in 2020, 2022, and 2024. The study showed that speeding was modest, but the volume was very high, up to almost 1,100 cars per day. Even if only 2% of Chiswick Road drivers exceed high pedestrian mortality speeds of 40 miles per hour, that can be roughly 20 drivers a day who are endangering residents of Chiswick Road with lethal driving. Navigation apps also send truck drivers down the road. So each morning we get a series of large furniture, lumber, and other delivery trucks cutting through the street. It's also used heavily by out-of-state drivers on their long drives. On a Saturday in October, I spent 2 hours on the corner of Narragansett Boulevard and Chiswick Road and observed 11 out of 12 out-of-state drivers heading southbound, cutting onto Chiswick Road. Chiswick Road is home to 20 families. Residents include 8 school-age children, 9 neighbors over the age of 65. Many of them are here today to share some of their experiences of living with this unsafe and unnecessary traffic volume. I urge you to adopt this common sense ordinance as Councilor Graziano has proposed to designate Chiswick Road as local traffic only. I look forward to working with the City Council on this low-cost solution. I look forward to working with the city's Department of Public Works on notifying the navigation apps on this change and on installing appropriate signage on Broad Street and Narragansett Boulevard. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is anyone else in the chambers that would like to speak on docketed items only? Please state your name and address.
Hello, my name is Nancy Conklin Stone, and I live at 70 Chiswick Road. I just want to echo some of what Kevin talked about. My main concern is safety on this small residential street. I've worked in healthcare for many, many years as a nurse, and this seems to be an opportunity for us to prevent an accident from happening. We've already buried many animals that have been killed on the road. Cars have lost their side view mirrors. And I personally rescued a child who had climbed out of a car while a package was being delivered and was in the middle of the road, and a car from Broad Street turning onto Chiswick came inches away from killing this child. So I think we need to be smart and do what's right and not allow this traffic to be speeding down a residential street. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the chambers that would like to speak on docketed items only? Mr.
Good evening.
Director?
Thank you, Chairman Anderhar, members of the council. Nick Lima, the Registrar Director of Elections for the Canvassing Authority. On your docket this evening is a resolution asking the General Assembly to support moving the date of the September primary to Wednesday because of Labor Day week. The resolution, I think, is fairly self-explanatory, explains a number of logistics problems and legal hurdles that we have to overcome as election officials. The bill was recently heard in committee on the House side. It's moving quickly there. It's actually up for a vote tomorrow. We had election officials from a dozen other Rhode Island cities and towns offer testimony and support. So this is a statewide issue of importance. I'm hoping the Senate will also be quickly moving on this in the weeks ahead, because we are hoping that we can lock in and solidify that September primary date so candidates and voters can prepare for it. If there's any questions on this, I will be here for the discussion portion, but I thank you for your time. And thanks again for both Leader Campopiano as well as President Wall for your co-sponsorships of that resolution.
Thank you, Director. Is there anyone else in the chambers that would like to speak on docketed items only? Please state your name and address. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the chambers that would like to speak? Please state your name and address.
How's that? Great. All right. I was just pointing out that we have a very good showing of our residents from Chiswick. You can just see by voting with their feet, that this is an issue that's of great concern to our community, and it really is a quality of life issue. I've lived on Chiswick now for almost 27 years. So I've seen the before and after in terms of how the map apps have really impacted the volume and speeding. So, prior to people adopting, regular use of map apps, it was a very quiet street. And subsequent to, those changes, people are using our street as a cut through, which other folks have, been pretty clear it's not designed for that. So anyway, we really appreciate your support and appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone anyone else in the chambers that would like to speak? Seeing none, is there anyone online? Oh, wait, we got one more. Please say your name and address, sir.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Crawley. I live at 77 Chiswick Road. I'm a relatively new resident to Cranston, having moved there less than 2 years ago. It was clear when we moved to the block that it was a fantastic neighborhood, but that the traffic on the street was a huge problem. It sounds like the city's invested time and effort in some of these studies to come up with a solution or the proposed solution. I want to reiterate what all my neighbors have said. Closing it to through traffic seems like a low-cost, practical solution. I'm a public health epidemiologist. I've previously worked at the municipal level and worked on issues of built environment and traffic calming. This really does seem like an effective public health safety measure, and a relatively low-cost one at that. So I'd urge the council to approve the ordinance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Seeing none. Clerk, is anyone online?
There is no online public comment.
At this time, I am closing public comment. Moving on to new matters before the committee. Ordinance 1225-2, ordinance and amendment of chapter 17 of the Code of the City of Cranston 2005 entitled zoning. This is the change of zone for 0 Plainfield Pike. Is there anyone here representing? Counselor, please just state your name and address.
Good evening, Mr. President, honorable members of the Cranston City Council. For the record, Attorney K. Joseph Shikachi, representing the applicant this evening, Mineral Enterprises, Inc. They are the ones proposing a zone change from M2 to M2 with conditions. It is Assessors Plat 36-2, lot numbers 24 and 99. This particular application, just to give the council a little bit of history, was recently subdivided less than a year ago. This parcel that is before you tonight is a small part of a much larger parcel. What we're proposing is a multiple use commercial building, which would be anchored by a Dunkin' Donuts with a drive-through. There would be up to 2, 3, or possibly 4 other uses there, depending on the availability of tenants. We have had numerous negotiations with the city planning department regarding what was acceptable as far as uses in this area. We have come to an agreement. I believe it's articulated in the proposed ordinance. This application received a favorable recommendation from the planning department and a unanimous vote in favor from the planning board of Cranston. I have with me Dana Nesbet, who's a project engineer, a licensed PE from Dupree, to answer any technical questions. But the one point I want to stress is, regardless of the Dunkin' Donuts and all the potential uses, we have more than adequate parking on site to handle all of the proposed uses. We could have one large medical use. We could have a restaurant there, a sit-down restaurant. We could have some other uses that are all outlined in the ordinance that's proposed. I would be happy to answer any questions. My client is here. This is a standard Dunkin' Donuts. He owns several of them throughout the state. And there's nothing unusual. I think everybody in this room has been to a Dunkin' Donuts before, and it's a typical Dunkin' Donuts. So there's really not much to say. The other uses, if they were to deviate from what is being proposed tonight, they would have to come back before this board, back before the planning board, but that's unlikely because we have a relatively broad availability with preferred uses on this property. It is my understanding that when they went through the planning department, it was not me, but there were no objectors at all. Be happy to answer any questions. I have the owner with me, and I have the engineer as well.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any questions. I did look over the application, the ordinance, and I give a lot of weight to the fact that the planning commission voted unanimously for it. So it's consistent with our plan. So I certainly, Dunkin' Donuts always do very good business there. I don't see any problem with it. I see it as not a no-brainer, but something that will work out well in the area. So I'm going to be in favor of it tonight.
Councilwoman Graziano.
Thank you, Councilman Andujar. So I am grateful for the Planning Commission for providing the recommendation and working with you on this matter. So I am going to support what the Planning Commission has provided to us as a positive recommendation. However, I do climate change and stormwater management for a living, and I would feel remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to encourage the development to follow stormwater management standards to a higher level. I would like to see them followed at the NOAA Atlas 14++ standards for precipitation rates. While that is not a requirement here in the city of Cranston, I will be pushing that ordinance eventually before before the council to adopt a higher standard for new developments that are coming into the city of Cranston. We really need to think about our future. We can't think about 2030. We need to think about 2050, 2070, and 2090. And if we continue to develop and have commercial and industrial facilities, I encourage that, but I want to make sure that they have the proper infiltration, the proper vegetative cover, and that they're following a higher standard. There is it's not quite a town, but it's Devon's. It's an old army base in Massachusetts, and they run a pretty high standard for environmental protection when it comes to developing commercial, industrial, with green space, porous pavement and things like that. So I want to encourage you to start thinking on a higher level.
Thank you. As you know, if we are successful tonight, we'd come back before the full council. To be quite honest with you, I'm not familiar with those NOAA's plus standards, but we will look into them. And when we come back, we'll have an answer for you. It's obviously, we're very concerned about the environment as well. This is a significant investment. We want to be there long-term and be a good neighbor, but it's a balance. So I can't honestly commit until I know what it is. But we will look into it in good faith, and we'll be happy to answer that, hopefully in the next round if we're successful.
Thank you. And through the chair, just all as an encouragement to think about our future here in Cranston.
I understand completely. I get blamed for the act on climate all the time.
Councilwoman Baziri.
Yeah, I just want to echo what President Wall said. We're really excited to have you in the area, and we love that you're filling a vacant spot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's tax revenue and it's jobs for the city of Cranston.
Councilman Bonanno.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Speaker, you just took the words out of my mouth. It's tax revenue and it's jobs for the city of Cranston. And I'm going to take the thunder away from Mr. Andujar, who usually says this, but I want to thank the folks for coming into Cranston or reinvesting in Cranston. If you're already here, there's Duncan's all over the place. I have two very, very simple questions. I'm going to be voting in favor of this. I was on the zoning board for, I think, 7 years. I think I lost count before I transitioned here onto the council. And the one thing that we always asked about was ample parking, especially on a main street. So could you just elucidate, how much parking you have and how it will.
Yeah, I'll call the engineer. I believe there's a site plan and we exceed the town requirements for parking.
You know what? That's good enough for me.
Thank you. We're not asking for any relief from parking.
Okay.
Am I correct, Dana? Yeah, I thought so. We are asking for no relief.
Yeah.
We exceed that substantially.
Substantially. All right. That's good enough for me. And for my own clarification, when you come out of Comstock, you make a right and it's on the right.
Yes.
Thank you.
There's also another entrance. There's two entrances. One is an exit only and one is an entrance and exit. And we are working with DOT. This is the preferred traffic pattern for the internal one. We want to minimize conflicts internal to the development and the potential uses, but also for the traffic going on Plainfield Pike. So this is what we feel is the best formula with the traffic experts.
Thank you, sir. Again, thank you for investing in Cranston, and I'll be sure that I'll get a large mocha one of these days. Thank you.
Councilman Campobiano.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, I want to thank you for coming into Ward 4. I know Councilman Ritz that took over for me for Ward 4, but my heart still lies in Ward 4. So anytime I see any type of improvement come to Ward 4, I want to thank you. And I wish you nothing but success, and I look forward to the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
This is well over $1 million of private investment, well over.
It's a great area to build up.
Thank you.
Councilman Ritz first. You got anything to say?
Appreciate you coming there, and I think you'll do well over there too. There's a lot of traffic. You'll get a lot of business from it. Thank you.
I believe our attorney has something to say.
Thank you, council members. This is very minor, but because it's a zoning ordinance, I get very nervous. If you look at page 2, there's just a scrivener's error under permissible uses A, and then B, it begins IO. It should say in addition. I just want to correct that, please, so we don't have to go back to advertisement. Minor error, but I just want to make sure we do it on the record.
Pretty sure our clerk has that.
So just make a motion to amend that to reflect in, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to amend, what is it, permissible uses, letter B, change it to in, is it?
IO to in.
IO to in.
Yes.
Yeah. Second.
Any discussion? You have to vote on it, right? Yeah. Any discussion? Clerk, please take a roll on the amendment.
Councilwoman Fazzari,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Banano,
Yes.
Councilman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Council President Wall.
Yes.
Returning back, Counselor, I would just like to thank the business and just to let you know that Cranston is a business-friendly city, so hopefully the word gets out and more people come in to invest. So I want to thank your clients for coming out today. And with that, may I entertain a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Fazzari,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Banano,
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano,
Yes.
Councilman Andujar,
Yes,
Council President Wall.
Yes.
thank you and good luck. We'll see you again.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
moving on. Ordinance 12601, ordinance and amendment of Title 10, Chapter 12, Section 280 of the City of Cranston Code of Ordinances 2005 entitled Traffic Prohibited on Certain Streets. Councilwoman Graziano, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I want to thank all the residents from Chiswick Road for coming out this evening. It's been a long road here. I looked back at my last email chain and we started talking November 2nd, 2024. And that was actually right before the election. You know, we have been working together for over a year. I went through all of my emails. We've pulled all the traffic studies from 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2024. I've, sent out concerns about speeding and how this road is a cut through to the police through Director Moretti. There's correspondences back and forth. Those happened in February of 2025, May 20th of 2025, April. And then I voiced my final concern because I think we were at the end of the road with this, where we weren't really getting anywhere with what we needed. So I took a look at the ordinances for the city of Cranston. And after hearing what all the residents had to say with regards to this issue with Google Maps, because if you don't know Ward 1 and you don't know Edgewood, the cut through street to get from Allens Ave, Narragansett Boulevard to Broad Street should be Norwood Avenue. It's a gigantic street with plenty of room with a traffic light. It's unfortunate that Google Maps and Waze send everyone down because when you go, if you don't know, when you go all the way down to Narragansett Boulevard, it's a walking community. The roads are tighter. We have bike lanes. It's very concerning that they're sending large trucks and excess cars down that way. And I did stand there on December 16th of 2025. And it was, that 4 to 6 time where there's a lot of traffic. And I'll tell you, it's definitely more than come down my street. And my street's a cut through and it's way wider than Chiswick. One of the things is there's a sign there and it says no right turn on Narragansett Parkway onto Chiswick 4 to 6. There wasn't one driver that took a pause. They just kept turning. They didn't worry. They didn't bypass. They didn't hesitate. They didn't put on their brakes. They didn't bypass. So, I mean, that's not even being enforced or followed. So, we came up with this decision in this ordinance. And the idea here is that our GIS and our traffic department would send this out to Google Maps, this ordinance, and they would, with this ordinance, they can then remove it as a through street for traffic. And then hopefully we can say that they should be designating these large trucks to go through Norwood Avenue. I mean, that's the ultimate goal because there are businesses in the village and we do understand that those businesses have to deliver items into the village, but they got to use Norwood Ave. So I really strongly believe that this ordinance will help. I have requested many times the traffic engineer to review this. I know it is not attached to the agenda. I asked this question about proposing this ordinance on November 3rd with a response on November 17th, 2025, that they would get back to me. It was put into the clerk's office, submitted ordinance on 12/19/25 2025. I've heard nothing from the traffic engineer. I sent a follow-up email before this committee meeting on 2/3/2025. I've still not heard a response from anybody. So here we are on 2/4 with no response from the traffic engineer on this matter. And so I'll yield to the chair.
Thank you, Councilman Banano.
All right, first thing, I have a question for Attorney Marcello or Attorney Videcchia, either one. Yeah, good, even better. Because what's better than one lawyer? Two. If the traffic engineer doesn't respond within 90 days, doesn't this body have the authority to act without a recommendation?
Yeah, so the answer is 60 days. I did have a meeting with the councilwoman right before during the meeting, frankly. 12/19, it was submitted officially by the clerk. So 2/19 is the deadline. We cannot pass it until it's 60 days or he gives a recommendation. So after 2/19, you're good to go if he doesn't give a recommendation. Hopefully the commission will give a recommendation prior to that so you can get it on your February agenda. But if we don't have that by the February agenda, which was 2/17, it cannot pass, but it can pass after 2/19. So it'll be our March meeting. But yes, that's a charter provision. That's not an ordinance. That's a
Okay.
charter provision.
All right, can we pass it out of committee?
You can pass it out of committee.
Yes.
The charter makes it clear, final passage.
Okay.
This is just, this is what you're basically doing is you're recommending to the full council passage of that ordinance.
All right, thank you. I have a couple things I'd like to say real fast. I spoke to the neighborhood, to Chiswick Ave over here, when during the break between meetings, and I think their concerns are quite valid. I think their concerns are serious enough where we take this action without a lot of questions. To be honest, I don't really have any questions. I'm going to be voting for this, and I hope it works. And I hope that we can, as a city, get the information to all the apps and whatnot, map apps that send people down there. I guess it's another question for the attorneys. Would this also cover a sign that says no through trucks, or would that be a separate proposal? I've seen signs throughout the cities with, a picture of a box truck with a no smoking thing through it. I think that would also be helpful. So can we amend this, or is it another?
Well, this is no traffic at all, so it would include trucks. So yeah, it's inclusive of that. I mean, trucks is separate, but this is no through. This would be inclusive of trucks. They could post a sign, that basically says no trucks, but no through, it means no through. So whether
Okay.
they're a truck or a bus, that's what it means.
So I would like to
It's all
go on.
encompassing, yeah.
I would like to go on record and say that I would respectfully request through the administration that in addition to the no through traffic signage that is placed, either above it or beneath it, we place a sign that says no through trucks. Because if you get a couple of, Nissan Sentras that go through at 7 a.m. that are going through, that's not as egregious as an 18-wheeler or a box truck. So I would like to strongly suggest that. I don't know if I can make it as a motion, but I would like to see if we can do that as well, if this ordinance is encompassing of trucks, big, heavy trucks. Thank you.
Council President Wall.
And I don't want to veer too far off this. It's more procedural. The councilwoman said that she started talking about this on November the 17th. The members of the public referred to 3 separate studies, traffic speeding studies that were done in the 2020, 2022, and 2024. My first is a narrative is, how is it? It's almost 3 months right now from when she first requested it. What are we doing wrong that we can't get a simple report? And I ask this, and I may ask, is there a better procedure for this? Because I know, and I may ask the rector, Julie, if she'd come up and how can we make something like this happen much quicker? Because we're ready to vote on it. I certainly have listened to the people in the audience. I've listened to Councilwoman Graziano. It seems like common sense. I won't say no brainer, but a common sense measure that's better for the quality of life of the people in your neighborhood, makes things safer. So I'm going to be in favor of it. The fact that I won't be able to pass it at the next council meeting because someone didn't send a report in because they didn't want to answer an email is perturbing.
Just let me answer the question is when the clock begins to run. So I believe the clock begins to run on 12/19 when the actual ordinance is submitted to the clerks. Not, I know that she made a request back before then, but until we actually get the ordinances, that would start the 90-day clock. So I just want to make sure, 60-day clock, I'm sorry, the 60-day clock, yes.
And legally, I get it. That's, your clock is different than the clock I'm talking. Well, the clock I have is the clock of common sense. How can a councilwoman who represents Ward 1 not have what she needs today so we can pass it? And how could, if this is the case, what can we do? And maybe you can help us out because you're new in the position. Maybe you can help us. How can we make this situation not occur when we have these types of issues going forward?
Thank you, Council President. My suggestion would be as the liaison between the council and the administration, if you could include me going forward on your requests to directors, which you may have done in the past with Director Moretti. If you want to put us both on there, that's fine. But as the liaison to the council, I can make it my responsibility to coordinate with directors who maybe are not being as responsive as you would like. I can't, make promises for them, and I don't want to, down talk what anyone has done in the past, but going forward, if you include me, I'd be happy to expedite any things that you're looking for, or at the very least, communicate with you in between to tell you if there's a problem in getting the information that you need. So the sooner the better, so we can pass these things. And I don't like to see things going back and being held. So the administration is on board with expediting processes.
And I appreciate, so just so I have the procedure, the next time I need a traffic study or any member of the council needs a traffic study, we're gonna CC
Myself.
the director, the traffic engineer, Director Moretti, and also Director Renzulli, and you'll help be that liaison, will help this get that done quicker.
Yeah, I think
Because-
that will work. Do you agree that that could
I
at
think it
least
sounds
help?
like and
Okay.
everybody's on the same page, which is always a good thing. Now, I'll be honest, it's gonna be concerning, like, I believe, and this has nothing to do with you, I believe the councilwoman did CC the director and the traffic engineer, and I know you can't speak to that.
Yeah.
And that's where my frustration lies, but
Mhm.
listen, we'll try something new.
Yep.
But, maybe maybe we need to bring in the traffic engineer and ask, what's the problem? Are you not getting your emails?
That is
And that may be
totally up
something
to you.
we
That's
may have
totally
to
up to
do.
you, Council President. I respect your opinion on that matter. If you want to bring in the traffic engineer, you can surely call him in. Only thing I can do is promise to communicate better and more, quickly than you have received information in the past. And I do know that that's what the mayor wants to be going on. So,
It's greatly
all right,
appreciated.
thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman
Mr. Chairman.
Bonanno.
I just really quick wanted to ask Director Renzulli if she can, and I don't know if you did this already, because forgive me, I zoned out for a quick second, but if you can ask the traffic engineer to make this a priority to respond before the next council meeting, so we don't have to wait for any further for these lovely folks sitting behind me.
I will make it a point to walk down to his office tomorrow.
Thank you.
Councilman Campobiano.
Thank you, Chair. First, I want to say I'm 100% in favor of this, but I also want to warn against a false sense of security. I had a similar situation in Ward 4 where we had a cut through. We put a one-way up, they still cut through. We put no traffic, they still cut through. Then finally, I teamed up with Senator Catalano and we put a Jersey barrier up. That was the only way to stop this. We put a Jersey barrier up and we planted trees in front of it. And finally, they stopped going. So I'm going to vote for it, but I'm just warning against a false sense of security. It's not going to stop overnight. That's all I'm saying. Let's give it a shot. Thank you.
Councilwoman Vaziri.
I just want to echo what Councilman Bonanno said, and I am in full support of this. Maybe if it doesn't work, we can put some speed bumps and slow people down that way if people still continue to cut through.
Thank you. Councilman Ritz.
I was just gonna comment, Council President Wall kind of had the same thought as I did, was have the traffic engineer come in. We see this with other department heads, public works, and those aspects of it, when they have something on the agenda. I think especially with this one, it'd be good if he came in.
Thank you. I just want to let the residents know of Cheswick that Your councilwoman is really working hard, and I apologize deeply as the chair of this committee for you seeing the red tape. But no matter what, we will get it done. If we have to buy Jersey barriers, we'll buy it. My citywide councilwoman Vaziri is in favor with me of speed bumps, which the city doesn't like, but I like them. So I apologize deeply for me, but it will get done. So I assure you of that. So with that, Councilwoman, I'll let you entertain the motion.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Through
So
the chair,
moved.
through the chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. You were a little too quick for me. I drew some inspiration from Attorney Marcello. Line 29, you'll notice there is another scrivener's error. It appears that it says Narragansett as opposed to Narragansett. So before we entertain the ordinance as a whole, we should amend that to accurately reflect that it should be Narragansett.
Motion to change the Narragansett to Narragansett.
Second.
Second.
It's a gas, man.
Any discussion? Clerk, please take a roll on the amendment.
Councilwoman Vasari?
Yes.
Councilman Campiano?
Yes.
Councilman Banano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Wait, there's one more. Sorry.
Where is it?
Can I do one more? Motion to amend Chiswick Street to Chiswick Road.
Second.
That.
Any discussion? Clerk, can you please take a roll on the second amendment? Third.
Councilwoman Vasari?
Yes.
Councilman Campiano?
Yes.
Councilman Banano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Both amendments passed. Now you can make it. I'll let you hold the floor for the motion.
Thanks. Motion to approve ordinance 1-26-01 as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Vasari?
Yes.
Councilman Campiano?
Yes.
Councilman Banano?
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on, resolution requesting the. Is there a round of applause? Moving on to resolution requesting the General Assembly to consider swift action to change the date of the September 2026 general Rhode Island statewide primary elections due to concerns regarding the Labor Day holiday, sponsored by President Wall and sponsored by Councilman Campopiano. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
I have nothing further to say. The emails and the information that Director Lima gave, I think speak for themselves. It seems common sense, so I certainly, as a sponsor, will be in approval. And if I could at some point, actually, I didn't have the floor, so I just want to say I'm in approval. I have nothing further to say. I think Mr. Lima did a fine job.
Thank you, Councilman Campopiano.
I want to thank Director Lima for his hard work on this, and it's pretty much a no-brainer. So thank you for doing this, and I will be voting in favor of it.
Okay. May I entertain a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you, Director, for all your hard work down there. Incredible office. And with that, clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Vasari?
Yes.
Councilman Campiano?
Yes.
Councilman Banano?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Graziano?
Yes.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Seeing that there are no council communications, may I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor